How's it going? We are back for another Alliance Way Gear Guide review for 2022. I'm Cole, and today we are checking out the Velvet Falcon. So this is a foam top style board coming from Velvet. They're actually calling it the soft pop technology. This top here is all nice and a pretty solid, firm foam, but is also really grippy at the same time. As soon as water touches it, it gets really grippy on your feet, so you don't need any wax or anything like that. The size we were able to jump on is a 4.7. It also comes in a 4.5 and a 4.9 to fit whatever size you need. Another thing on the top here, we do have a small kick pad going on in the back, so you can always find your placement with your back foot pretty easy. Sometimes with those soft tops, they have really fat rails going along the side of the board. But Velvet has done a really good job as far as merging the base and the top here and giving it a nice decent edge, and that way it cuts into that wave pretty well. On the bottom, we have a 5-fin future setup, so you have all the options to run a thruster. You can run it as a twin fin, run it as a single fin. I doubt you're gonna run all 5 at the same time, but you can play with those options and figure out what works best for you. Sometimes with those foam top boards, you're worrying about them being durable, but we do have an aero grade carbon fiber bottom going on here, and that way it keeps it nice and sturdy, so you really feel like you're riding a real surfboard, but you get that ease of not worrying about dinging your board or those pressure dents with a typical surfboard. A lot of cool things have gone into this board between some recycled materials, and you've also got this valve on the back here that your board's out there in the heat all day, it's not gonna overheat, and delam, that helps release some of that heat, which is always nice. That way your board's gonna last all summer long. So those are kind of some of the things that goes into this Velvet Falcon. Let's jump over the categories and see where this thing landed. Starting things off though, we go stays and wave. We go 1 through 10. 1 means it's struggling to stay in the wave. 10 means you're falling, running in the boat. It's out of control fast, right? The Falcon lands at a 9. This board has a lot of volume in it, and it's a pretty wide board overall, so you're definitely not struggling to stay in that wave. It actually is really fast, and it's super easy to stay in that wave, so that's why this thing landed at a 9. Next, we look at carve. We go 1 through 10 as well. 1 meaning it's loose and out of control. 10 means it's the best carving board out there, right? And the Velvet Falcon landed at a 7 on the carve, which is actually really nice for a foam style board. I felt like it rolled over real easy rail to rail, and it was really light underneath the feet, so it was pretty, overall, just easy to control. And with all those fin options, I think we were running that as a thruster setup, so we had plenty of drive and plenty of grip, giving it that 7. Next, we look at pop. We go 1 through 10. 1 meaning no pop at all, 10 meaning all the pop you could ever want. And this Velvet Falcon landed right in the middle at a 5. And typically, with a foam style board, they're a little bit harder to get up and out of the water. It's a lot of board to move, it's a lot of volume. But I think with the speed and the control, made it pretty easy, but also at the same time, that is a lot of board to get up and out of the lip. But at the same time, you're not limited to not being able to ride that board like you want. It's just a little bit more effort and you'll get that pop. Lastly, we want to look at ability. We go 1 through 10. 1 is beginner, 10 is expert. This board lands at a 3. So given that, it's super easy for beginners to jump on. I wouldn't say an expert would want to ride this board. They could do all their tricks. I'm not saying that you can't, but this board is more of a fun board to get everybody out there on the boat, to beat it up, and it's gonna last all season long, and it'll accommodate all the riders between beginner, all the way up to about advanced. So that pretty much sums up the Velvet Falcon. If you guys were able to check out the Velvet Darkslide, that board was definitely more on the cruiser style, easy to ride. I really like that as a single fin option, but this board's a little bit more aggressive and you got a little bit of a fatter tail. So, depending on how you want to ride that board, either one of these are going to be a great option to choose from. If you guys want to know more information about these, head over to velvetwake.com to check out their full lineup of boards. But don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future reviews coming out. I'm Cole, and we'll see you later.